What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing a YBY1 VOD review from these Worlds Scrims. YBY1, I mean, you must be new to my channel if you haven't heard of this guy. This is one of my favorite players in the entire world to watch, and he's gonna be at the World Championship. He's honestly, if there were like TFT betting markets for who's going to win the World Championship, I think he would be one of the top dogs. I would put him as my top dog to win the entire World Championship. So we'll see how he does. We get an early. Sorry, I thought my cat was about to knock my water off my desk here. We get an early gold opener, and YBY1 in very much YBY1 style is going to make the 10 gold instantly. Not really too concerned about holding stuff like Katarina or Janna, which lead to great reroll lines, but YBY1 almost always happy to make that first 10 gold just because he's very, very pleased to play towards like fast 9 play styles, make a ton of gold and then just play with it, especially because he is so good at doing these like quick, all-in-one turn pivots. Our first reroll ends up being this efficient shopper, which I just don't think is that great. I don't really like any of these options so much, especially with the extra gold opener. You kind of want something to snowball the gold opener further here. And we do actually get this one that sells your entire board, and then and yeah, he is gonna take this here just immediately. I mean, I think it's a solid option. Doesn't actually benefit that much from us having already made our first 10, but it is +1 gold to start with, and it's never a bad silver. I feel like you're always happy to take this. The only kind of funny thing is we got the Bastion pair, but we did not get any backline actually, so we're powering up this 8-track. This is Solar Breath, or it's not called Solar Breath, I think it's the Inner Flame it's called. The one that does heal cut. We picked that up here just because it's a solid enough early game option. And honestly, it looks like we're going to win our first fight, which is kind of hilarious because the other thing I would say about YBY1 Spot is that, he kind of has to resign himself to loss streaking in this early game, right? We are definitely, I mean, maybe rotating to 2 other people with really, really weak boards, but very unlikely. Much more likely we are going to lose a decent amount of this stage. The upside is that we're quite rich. We've already made 20 gold here. We're making 30 this round. We are way richer than pretty much everyone else in the lobby with the gold opener plus this augment. And that means the world is kind of our oyster as far as what comp we want to play. We can really do whatever. We have sword plus cloak as our items here. I feel like that leans a bit AD in that, you can make something like, some kind of sword item, i.e. GS, DB, and then cloak can be something like Even Shroud, and you can get all your items down. If you want to play AP or in a more awkward spot, I mean, it could still be, Shojin into Spark or just tank item and stuff like that, but, we'll see. Spark, I feel like the Spark item kind of fell off. I guess that's why they buffed it a few patches ago, because, like, most of the set, nobody was building Spark. But yeah, YBY1, I think maybe him himself doesn't even know 100% what line he is playing towards this game, but he's certainly got ideas, right? Trying to figure out what we want to play line-wise. Fast 9, something that he'd be very excited to play towards. I don't think with just this 1 silver augment, we can really, happily go for Fast 9. It is Braum portal, if I remember correctly, which means that we are going to have gold subscription gold, which means if we get one of these big gold subscription orbs, a gold orb or prismatic orb, then we do truly have enough gold to make it to 9. So maybe our 3-1/4-1, what we get gold wise is going to affect that. We do throw Ashe in a planner, which makes it look like YBY1's dream is to play towards Ashe this game. I do think Ashe, even after the nerfs to Crystal Gambit, it's still a very, very solid option if you can hit this Ashe quickly, get this 5 Crystal Gambit online, and just start, killing everybody. So yeah, he's gonna hold the 2 Bastion on board here and opt to just play the Schmolder plus the well, it was for a second the other dude, but we are the Janna, but now we're just gonna play the Koboko because he's a great unit. Gonna power up him 15. It's not efficient, is it? Why do I feel like it's not efficient? But is that let me translate this while we and we do make the IE slam. I mean the most reasonable slam out of that glove here. It is efficient. I don't know why I was thinking that for some reason that wasn't efficient. I mean, it's a short one that says 15 in it, so yeah, it's efficient. Good enough onto Schmolder here. I mean, very good on a Schmolder, honestly, here. And yeah, I mean, it's a decent start here. YBY1, another one of those things that he's really good at is just, making his best board in spots like this, knowing how to play out boards like this, just easily building strongest, saying Koboko versus Udyr, and really, trying to get to the bottom of like, what do we actually want to play more here? Opts to play the Koboko for the DR here, and just Koboko as a unit. Maybe we'll get some kind of heavyweight in down the line. We'll see. But still, I mean, great spot. I mean, he does have decent line into Jinx here. We already have the Koboko. We already have some Star Guardian units. So we could play Jinx, one of these kind of nice fallback options where it's kind of like, if you don't end up in an amazing spot to fast 9 or reroll or something like that, you can do this. A little bit tragic, actually, how hard we're hitting in this Koboko comp, right? We have 2 Jannas, 2 Kobokos, but we already slammed IE, so that is certainly not something that we're going to be playing here. But hey, if we hit a 2-star unit, we can play around it. And I mean, if we save some HP, we can consider playing around Crystal Gambit here. I mean, we have the Warmogs there if we want to make it. Could also be Evan Stroud here. Oh, man. 2-star Janna. It would have been so nice, but it's fine. We can just chill here. Throw the Yasuo in here. And yeah, he's even going to make the Janna 2 as just an upgraded unit on the board. Traitless, by the way. But he's just playing Janna 2 as Janna 2 here. Wrote into a Mouse board who's also level 6. Though they have no upgrades to speak of. So I think we should be fine here. Yeah, it should be easy enough. And so he opts to not even slam an item here because he knows we are strong enough to beat this board. All right, going into augment round here, we did not get much gold on 3-1, right? From because this is I'm not crazy, this is gold subscription rate. Yeah, we got another silver gold orb here, so pretty small amount of gold actually coming out of this. I mean, it's not Blazing Soul. Edgelord +1. I mean, I haven't really seen anybody take this. And then, I mean, the Radiant TG is decent enough, I guess. Roll this. I mean, swords. You never feel bad about this. You can play this into Jinx. You can play this into something like Samira. Yeah, I mean, I could see this being the take very easily. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be mess hall. I just don't like that augment very much here. So I imagine it is the swords here. Could reroll that. Ooh, wow! It's a pickup of the Edgelord. Wow, it's kind of crazy, but I mean, I kind of love it, actually. Allows us to make this Warmogs plus Kraken, get the Samira in on the board. We're actually still carrying the Smolder right now because, I mean, a Smolder is a Smolder, and, Smolder's benefiting from 4 Edgelord with this setup. And yeah, I mean, let's just play 4 Edgelord with the Xayah that we already have, with the Yasuo. Makes our board stronger. Oh, I mean, this is just a classic YBY1 game where he says, you know what, Edgelord +1, I mean, it's not the most popular option, but it's tempo. And if there's one thing that YBY1 likes in TFT and cares about, it is, tempo, just being as strong as possible here. Now we can look at leveling up here. We can even get Soul Fighter in with the Xin Zhao here. The board's looking great, honestly, and we are still, we're quite rich from our early econ augment, plus the fact that we've gotten a little bit of gold from this portal. So, I mean, we're looking at a very fast level 8, maybe even fast 9. We'll see down the line here, but I think this is a really cool line from our boy YBY1 here. And still, I really like as well holding onto the Smolder as your item carry. I think a lot of people would have been tempted to move items over to Samira here, but he opts to keep them on the Smolder with just the idea that a Smolder 1 is actually probably better than a Samira 1, just because the fact that Smolder is this like threat style unit. The only downside, or the only thing to balance it a little bit in the other direction, is that now we have now have Soul Fighter in, so that's something to think about. That is a bear on Carousel. Sadly, we can't pick it up, so I guess we're just going to take the 4-cost glove here. Great for Samira items. And this is a comp where you do really want to, I mean, we'll see what he plays as far as frontline. I think when you're playing for the big set, you really want to get to a triple item ginormous set. But we'll see, if we're able to get to this triple item ginormous set in the spot, because we do have 2.5 damage items, call it 3.5 if you count Edgelord emblem, and only 1 tank item here. There's a world where we get dropped, bow plus sword from minions here, and all of a sudden it's really hard to make tank items, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Fight a pretty strong board here, so I think we are finally going to lose our streak. Oh my god, it's so close. Goes to show, though, 10k damage from that Smolder. What a good call from YBY1 to play this. And we also, wow, we pick up the Shen here, who is fantastic here. Take stand alone here onto the Rel, just to make her a bit tankier. I mean, I'm loving it. I'm I'm loving this spot, honestly. The only question is how much do we want to, do this level 8 roll versus fast 9 roll? I think we'll at least roll for maybe a 6 Edgelord in on this board, but we'll see. I mean, the 4-4 setup that we have going on is pretty nice now, but have to imagine that we're just going to cut the Schmolder and play 6 Edgelord. Just need to pick up like, a Volibear and then one more, and we're there. So we'll see where this goes exactly. But I mean, overall, looking very good. Pick up Zaya 2 plus. Wow, yeah, we're picking it all up. Zaya 2 plus the Yasuo. Unless for some reason we're not buying the Zaya 2. I mean that is our in. Like literally just Volibear, and we're 6 Edgelord here. So I don't know why we wouldn't buy this. Maybe it's one of these times where YBY1 is just multitasking AFK. Goes for the pre-leveled level 8. Fine set here. Gets a prismatic orb full of gold here. Okay, so here's the first spot where we could stop, but it looks like he's going to opt to roll kind of deep here, right? If we're continuing to roll here, we're looking at rolling pretty deep here. We find a Yone on, wow, okay. I mean, that's not bad. Going to move these items over to Samira, make Shojin onto her. Wow, okay, Warmugs, Leona, whoa, let's look at power-ups here. There's a kitty on my mouse, so it's hard to click. So the Kraken goes into Volibear, it's a lot better on him. The Shojin really, really necessary for Samira to get her casting. I mean, these items are almost obligatory. You can make a QSS onto Volibear, and then you just have this rod open, which honestly you could open Reforge. So we have this one. I think people take a lot, the on the edge, where you just take a bunch of damage up quick. The 45% armor reduction is also not bad either. And I'm trying to remember which this one is. 5%, 35%. Is it like the one that like as your units die, you get stronger? I think we're just going to take on the edge. Yeah, we do opt to take on the edge. And then who does he second power up? Does he power up the Leona or the Voli? I would have probably powered up Voli here. But yeah, he does power up Voli here. Okay. And he takes, I'm going to have to translate these because honestly, I'm not that confident with any of these. I think this one was, okay, well, he didn't take that one. I think the rightmost one was double strike. Okay, let me translate these real quick. Okay, and let's look at last augment. Okay, so we just took our, oh yeah, it's 45% armor. I'm pretty sure I literally looked at that. I'm pretty sure whatever, okay. Like I called it out on Samira, and then for some reason I uncalled it on Volibear. Tiny but deadly, Jeweled Lotus, or 1 buff, 2 buff, red buff, blue buff. I mean, I don't think the red blue is that good. It's not actually that bad because you can blue Samira, but we already have the Shojin, so I don't think double mana gen Samira. I mean, it's not even that bad, but I don't think it's amazing. The crit one is like okay. It does give Volibear the ability to crit, which is pretty nice, and our Yone, but I mean, I kind of like tiniest Titans here, just or tiny but deadly. Too many tiny augments here. Just get your Edgelords autoing. Ooh. Okay, it looks like he is going to go for this here. I'd be really tempted to take the prismatic item here. He did have to make QSS just onto the Samira, though, which makes sense. And he's continuing to roll here. He found Samira, too, but he knows, I mean, we're Voli paired here. Now Leona paired. We're so paired on everything. We find one Braum here, who is a great in on this board, so he's just going to cut the Leona. Going to play the Lee Sin as well. Edgelord Lee Sin, Edgelord Juggernaut Lee Sin. And also he's got a Warmog sitting on bench that he's going to throw down now onto the bear just for tankiness. What a cool little in-between board from YBY1. I mean, this is just, this is why this guy is so fun to watch, and why I feel like you have to watch him. Yeah, okay, he does now make this swap in, which is kind of the ideal setup here. Get the Soul Fighter in, and you still keep Juggernaut in. So, I mean, we're playing around a Juggernaut Edgelord Lee Sin here. I mean, everybody knows how strong Jug Lee Sin is, so what could be better than Jug Lee Sin? Jug Lee Sin with an Edgelord spat onto him. So the spot's looking good, and we are clearing people. It's kind of funny. We rolled really deep. Even after the Samira 2, and then after the Braum, we kind of stopped. We said, this is enough. We had a lot to roll for there. We had, the Voli 2 to find, the Braum to find, the, potential set 2 if we found pair. So it's not that crazy, I think, that we rolled kind of deep, but we definitely made the cognizant effort to roll deep. Maybe Even Shroud here. You could also just take the Yone for Yone, but okay, we are going to get the Even Shroud here. Can't get the Yone. I mean, it's great. Our whole lord's doing physical damage, so I think Even Shroud really solid here. And yep, throw it onto the bear. Why not? Triple item the bear. Just get as many items stacked up as possible. He does actually power up Remover, and we take, what is that? Is that the one that isn't this the one that as more people die, you get stronger? I believe that's the one where it grants 3% damage amp and 3% DR per player that dies. I'm pretty sure, which is I mean, honestly, not that crazy of a pick. Yep, 15% damage amp, 8% DR, and then you add 3 and 3, and each player gets eliminated. I mean, we're 80 HP here. We're pretty high tempo. We're very strong. I mean, I think it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much guaranteed to live until top 4. And at that point, you know, this one is giving what, 24% amp and quick maths 20 DR. Okay, that's like definitely not correct. 27% damage amp and 20 DR, which is, I mean, insane stats for a power up to be giving. So that's the idea from YBY1 is, you know, once we get to top 4, this is doing great work. If we get past top 4, then it is really going crazy. Speaking of going crazy, I do think this person that we're fighting here is kind of going crazy with their board. Level 8, 1 HP, so definitely going to die at some point, but a lot stronger than us. So we do end up losing there, which feels a little bit bad. I mean, level 9 is rapidly approaching here. We can find the Bear 2 on 9. You can find stuff like Braum 2, Yon 2. We can stay on the Lee, or we can potentially move off of the Lee because, you know, he fits in a kind of a weird way onto this board. I really want to make a TG here and just throw it onto Yone. I mean, the red buff seems basically necessary here. And yep, TG onto the Yone. Red buff is just going to go onto the Lee Sin because he spreads it pretty well. I think this makes perfect sense. Only awkward thing is we still have these tank items on the bear. But, you know, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Even though our bear items are not amazing, we needed heal cut. And, I mean, a TG onto Yone is really nice. So it makes perfect sense. All right. Fighting an Ash board, and we cleared a lot of the front line, but I think we're just barely going to take a loss here. But that's fine by YBY's standards here because we are looking at level 9. Probably next round, you could sack 2 more if you're a crazy guy. We pick up TF here. We also pick up Zyra, who could just be our extra kind of last in. Find Gwen as well, which is kind of interesting. There's Yon paired. Gonna roll our extra pairs here and gonna fit the TF. And yeah, move the Edgelord spat over to the TF, and this is gonna be our board. Lee Sin just 4 Juggernaut on this board, and then TF is gonna hold on to the Edgelord spat. Just kind of really likes the spats. I'm done actually, because I'm not actually that... I would have... thought that TF is actually weaker than Lee Sin with this emblem, but no, I mean, the stats say it's Twisted Fate. I mean, the stats actually say the best unit with these items is or with this emblem is Braum here. Also, a lot of crazy stuff going on here. Wow, so much stuff just happened here. I mean, this is why YBY1's a beast. Okay, so we say Samira is really not doing it as our carry. Now that we have the bear too, we say Samira is kind of underwhelming compared to the bear, especially because we do have this power up on the bear where he's going to get stronger. So we're going to go all in on the bear, move tank items over to Set, move the Kraken here over to the bear, move QSS and IE up to the bear as well, and then that leaves Shonen left open, which we can then reforge if we get tank item, boom, onto Set. If we had damage item, I mean, most of them can go onto the TF here, and we hit QSS and throw it onto the TF here, and then we're going to power up the TF, not really looking for noxious fumes, just looking for some kind of, you know, solid damage power up here. Let's translate these. This one is Gather Storm, I'm pretty sure, and then I'm honestly not sure what the other 2 are. Oh, this is the one that gives you the AS, and then when a unit dies, you get more AS. And then, oh, this is the one that shreds 5 armor MR. And wow, he actually, or 5 MR. Well, he actually takes the soul shredder, I think it's called. I imagine we're gonna remove this and look for a different power up because I can't imagine shredding 5 MR is that good here. When, you know, all of our board is doing physical damage. So I guess he's gonna, I'm surprised he liked that better than the one that just gives you a little bit of essentially damage amp. Post mitigation damage amp is the problem there. But all right, need either tank item here or I guess another damage item. Though I don't know where exactly this is going. You could throw it onto Lee Sin, but that means you have to move something like Edgelord emblem up. Ooh, wait, this changes a lot though. We're gonna pop this off, move Kraken. Oh yeah, and now we can move power up to him, up to the. Oh wow, he's still. Wow. Not Lee Sin. TF1 with this power up, or, you know, with Edgelord +1, he actually thinks it's better than Yon 2. They're both 2 items. Yone 2 dealt way more damage than the TF. This is kind of confusing to me from YBY1, but I mean, I guess his thought is that like we don't have that many power per movers. We're just gonna play around this TF and we're gonna hit TF2 at some point, and at that point he is actually going to be stronger. I mean, he's just saying the effectiveness of Edgelord on TF is I mean is really high. They did bug fix this, I believe, this patch where you know, every single instance of damage is reducing armor by 2 if you have the Edgelord emblem. And so TF, just all of his cards going reducing armor on everybody, which is really nice. Though yeah, and I guess his idea is, oh, this is what he was fishing for. Wait, this is so woke. Is the idea that he's this is what he wanted, is Shadow Clone with the Edgelord emblem. That's why he was fishing. Oh, wait, I never knew this was a thing. Shadow Clone, Edgelord emblem, Twisted Fate. Holy woke, where each one of them is reducing armor by 2 every single instance of damage. You know, if you can get a few of them just autoing, I mean, that's monstrous here. I mean, he's probably going to look for, well, I was thinking a TF item here, though it's a little awkward now. I mean, you could take Edge of Night, but that probably has to go into the Yone. Yeah. Oh, and he then completely changes his mind and digs for power up on Yone and is just going to take 20%. That's the, is that Omni? No. This is the overheal one where you get 20 for an Omni and then you can heal up. You can overheal yourself. So yeah, I mean, good enough on Yone, especially with no dedicated healing item. Okay, well, it was a cool idea. It was a cool idea. Oh my god, we win this fight. But I think he kind of recognizes that it's cool in it's cool in theory, but in practice, we probably just want to have a power up onto our Yone 2 who's 6 Edgelord. Makes sense. That board looks disgustingly strong out of, I think that was Jazz Latte, so can we just pray that we don't fight them? I think we can beat some of these other boards here. We will see here. Want to make sure that our Edgelord is the same side as everyone else. I mean, I think this is great positioning. We do rotate into Jazz Latte here. We do really not have much of a, we don't have any kind of like wrap onto backline, which would be our one way to win, though the Yone doing good work. Yone cast, oh my god! He actually beats Jazz Latte here. Locks top 2 in. What a beast, man. All right, roll down. Hope to find your 2-star Lee Sin, but we don't find it. And we'll see if we can win this lobby. I mean, it's between us and this last player here, Sangyup here. So we'll see. We'll see who the winner is. I mean, they have a very strong Fast 9 board as well. This name of the game in an Econ Galaxy here was Go Fast 9 here. We rolled pretty good Samira items. Rotate into the full tanks. I don't know that you really want this. I think we definitely would have preferred to be on the other side here, but can't always pick your side. The bear trying to do good work, but we are going to go out in second. I mean, still a really fun game from YBY1, showing off some really cool tech and top 2ing with an augment that Soul Fighter crown that I really was not expecting him to take. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch for Metafy. I'm the links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, as always.